Welcome, my lords, to Isengard! Huh? Not a real thing? It only exists in popular fiction? Written by J.R.R. Tolkien, huh? Oh, that sucks. Then you don't just do the show then? Alright, welcome to Cool Nerd Reviews, where we review popular TV shows and give our opinion on them. I'm Scott Burnett.
Man, good?
I'm Dunberg. Steve Trezza.
Oh man, that's fucking... Alright. Whatever. Burst my bubble. Jesus. Alright, I guess we'll start off on Flash. The episode was titled Crazy for You. Still a little depressed. So, what really happened in the episode is there's kind of a one-off villain, but the whole overview was more of Caitlin and Barry getting their life back together.
That was definitely a main story arc for the show.
Yeah, I think Peekaboo played a backseat. Peekaboo was the Nightcrawler-esque villain.
Just such a
shitty name.
Villain name.
Yeah.
We've discussed this so many times.
If anything, it's consistent. But what I do have to say is Caitlin Snow was wearing that dress.
Caitlin Snow looked very good.
She was on fleek.
She was.
I don't know what that means. I heard somebody say it once.
I'm pretty sure it was good.
Is
now,
And she wanted on that Barry train, too.
she did, and you know what? And I'm surprised because in a lot of other reviews I've seen that no one really touches upon this. Everyone knows Caitlin Snow becomes
Killer Frost.
Killer Frost.
She wanted to touch upon Barry.
She gave him the sex eyes at the end of that episode.
And she's like, if anybody could sneak a peek, it was you.
You deserve it.
Okay,
And
what?
Barry kind of gave her this look back like, no, we're just
Why
friends.
not?
He dropped her into the friend zone.
Yeah, he did.
Although, with a set of pipes like that, I mean, I knew he was on Glee. I never watched Glee, but
Yeah.
I hate handsome, talented people who can do other things. Like, he's already an actor, he's already pretty, and he can sing. Fuck you, Grant Gustin. Okay? I want one of those. Okay? I'm reviewing your show for fun, and you're over there belting out Grease soundtrack. Jeez, alright. Anyway.
But
So what else happened in the
anyway,
episode?
I think that is the first word I'm looking for here. It's definitely the start of Caitlin Snow becoming Killer Frost.
Well,
I think this is my
Well,
theory.
it's a slippery slope.
Killer Frost is always like the woman scorned.
Yeah.
So that's easily
Yeah.
starting the segue into her becoming Killer Frost.
She gave him like the sexy stalker eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that she's gonna start like getting crazy over Barry, and Barry's gonna be like, no.
And he kind of
And
just...
then she's
yeah.
just gonna turn into the villain.
I know, because she needs to become Killer Frost somehow, which I think Captain Cold will have a hand in, because she needs to become Killer Frost.
Right.
The only cold aspect is Captain Cold. But it's funny, because, like...
Sorry.
That's gross. But she gave him the sex eyes, and he was like, no. And then he went out with that random girl who had the app that just downloaded all her
Well,
shit.
hold on.
Great commercial, whatever that was for.
That wasn't a real app.
Linda Park.
But that's the thing,
Linda Park.
sort of.
Linda Park. She is Wally West's wife in the comic series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Isn't
how
Wally
they're-
West Iris's and
It's
Barry's
Iris.
kid?
No,
Iris's nephew. or
Iris's
something.
nephew or cousin. But like the thing that's odd about it is, I know you guys like saying how with Gotham they're throwing in just random villains and throwing off the timeline. They just did that with a character. They put Linda Park in there. Wally West eventually becomes.
Overloads it.
I know. I was just trying to use an example, but
Nobody watches Gotham.
Wally West is first Kid Flash. He's significantly younger than Barry Allen, and now you have Barry dating, Linda Park, who will become Wally West's wife.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing about the timeline that bothered me.
Yeah.
I mean, there could just be another Linda Park. I mean, that does sound like a very common name. Could you imagine? It's like,
But no,
It
that
could
is
be,
Linda Park too.
it could be a
Huh.
kind of like an homage to the actual comic.
I can see that.
swear to God, I could see her being Golden Glider.
Well, because like literally they have.
She can just have made up a name, and that name could have been a callback to people who know about the comic timeline. Like, she came out of fucking nowhere. Like,
here's the thing, though. They put in every aspect of Linda Park's character from the comics.
Yeah, she's part
she's part Asian, and
the Korean, because Park is a Korean name.
Right. So whatever she is,
still Asian.
It's still Asian. She's part Asian.
Be more specific.
All right, and she's
We're culturally sensitive here on the Cool Nerd Show.
And she's a reporter. Linda Park, part Asian and reporter. That is Linda Park from the comics.
Yeah.
They could have just done that as an
homage.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that, but I don't know if I'll be happy.
She seems too into Barry out of nowhere.
You yourself just said you loved his
I have
voice.
a reason for that.
Yeah, no, he did say.
I have a reason for that, but we'll get back to that. I want to talk about how awesome the actual fight scenes were in that.
This
show.
was a great episode.
It was.
I swear. I think this was the strongest episode of the season.
it's not really a fight scene, but it's just like teleport versus super speed. I really like that, especially like when they're in the tunnel and everything. That was awesome. Also,
breaks the line of sight.
no, just the whole like shoots the bullet and Barry feels it and
pulls it out.
Pulls it out.
And he's like, I guess I really am faster than a speeding bullet.
Oh, is that a
And it's like, fuck you, Superman. Like, right? But and I like how he beat her, because sometimes the way in Flash they beat the one-off villains is out of hand. They're just like, Harrison Wells comes up with something completely outlandish, and he's just like,
that no one would think of.
Yeah.
Like, well, we could do this.
It's very like 60s Batman show, where like Robin would figure out the Riddler's riddle out of fucking nowhere.
Nice catch.
Our props are falling down.
We're gonna keep that one off. We're gonna keep that blade hidden. Anyway.
Okay.
Whatever.
So, my question for you guys is, and maybe I missed something when watching the episode, was
maybe you did.
So the way he beats Peekaboo is by taking away her line of sight in the dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Her boyfriend's just like, fuck it, I'm done.
So he teleported out of there, right?
No,
he
just
just
left.
He just
ran
walked out.
Did we see him run away?
No, he just got out and ran away.
Yeah, and she even says
She
that.
was like, oh, he left me.
Right. He left me. He teleported. Because Harrison Wells said earlier that whenever she teleports with something, the particles around her take upon its...
he could become a teleporter.
So essentially, they said it a couple times in the show, that when she teleports something, its molecules then take upon those traits.
Yeah.
So...
He could be another
teleporter.
It's going to come back.
That's going to come back.
Yeah, it still goes with the whole line of sight thing and everything.
Well, that was my question, because I automatically assumed he teleported away.
Yeah.
And also,
so
Barry was also teleported too, so
Speaking
he would have that.
of semi-teleporting,
I think he just left.
That could have been another plot hole.
Barry's dad is kind of snitching on I forgot the guy's name. Marcus.
Yeah.
And then Julius, or whatever the fuck his name is, stabs him.
Side characters.
Yeah.
And
then Flash brings him outside, and he's like, oh, it looks like you're going to escape. And he's like, okay, no, I'll give you the information. And Flash just leaves him.
Yeah.
So I like that, like darker side, not darker side of
But
Flash,
still,
but more
the
the dick
dickish
side. Yeah, the dickish side of Flash, because he's like a cocky asshole. He should be.
Right.
And then, which leads into that emotional CW-esque part of the episode, where the CW's like, we need 14-year-old girls to cry during this episode.
It's like,
so we're gonna put this emotional scene between Barry and his dad.
Well, I really like how they got the old Flash to be his dad.
Yeah,
but,
great.
But at the same time, it's just kind of like they were like, all right, we just need someone that can cry a lot, because like every scene he's in is always like real touching and like.
Yeah, but he's not even crying. He's just like that man cry where it's like,
where he doesn't cry but he just tears
he's
up.
He's just like, his one lip is going. If you were the Flash, I would just want to say, I'm proud of you.
Two great things that happened. The Cisco and Rathaway fight. How awesome was that?
That was...
Yeah, who knew Cisco could fight?
Yeah.
Right?
But which transitions him into becoming the Vibe, or just Vibe.
So I see the entire team splitting one point altogether, not one at a time. Not Cisco goes off and Caitlin goes off.
Because, like I said, Caitlin's going to become Killer Frost. Dr. Wells' intentions are like,
right. I think he's going to go before Caitlin and Cisco.
Probably.
But I think Cisco and Caitlin will go at the same time.
And also, the other thing, come on, ground everybody!
That was...
It was very...
Did not know that was coming, and then they're in the sewers, and as soon as I saw Grodd, I was like, oh yeah!
Yeah, but I didn't think we would actually see him. I thought it was just going to end it like that, but then it's like, there's the gorilla, CG gorilla, but...
I was happy
it looked pretty good.
But, I mean, he was like, just gorilla though, so I'm just thinking like, all the people who have like never read Flash is like, oh,
what
what's
is this?
Grodd? Why
Yeah.
why are we watching a girl beat up people?
But the thing is, it was very weird. It was more horror movie-esque than any like
Right.
a TV
But-
show.
Yeah.
Like you would have like flashes of like the gorilla sound and they would, what's that? And then they would get attacked and one guy got pulled away.
Right.
And it was a very like it looks like it would change the overall theme of the show from a very corny show to a very like intense.
Alien. Like
Yeah,
Alien.
which leads me to believe that Flash will not encounter Grodd this season.
Here's the thing.
He might just be a recurring like end
They're just gonna tease
stinger.
the shit out of
And
him.
then
just
next,
build him
and
up.
next,
Yeah.
because Grodd is definitely a season bad.
Here's the thing. I think Grodd has already made his move, believe it or not. Do you remember the scene where Flash is, he's at the bar with everybody and everything, and he's trying to get the attention of the bartender? Not even like, and the bartender doesn't do anything. The first time, like, all right, that's up. Then they do it the second time. I feel like they're really pushing that for the second time, and then the girl shows up
Yeah.
and says for the order. I think the girl and the bartender might be like under Grodd's control.
Because Grodd does mind control.
Yeah.
I also
So
think
I
the general could be.
Maybe
Remember from the
that's-
Plastique episode?
Mhm.
I could
Yeah.
see him controlling the general.
So I think he's slowly controlling people through that app.
the app.
No, really. I mean, I know it's very.
If they do it with the app.
I really think it is.
Oh no!
That's
don't do it.
That's
Don't.
a bold
Wow.
prediction.
It's
That
a
is
very bold
I
prediction.
really
but
hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too.
Oh, that's
But
awful.
why else would they do that without a product
That's
placement?
true.
Ah, oh no!
I'm sorry.
Don't even put that in my head. I think you're wrong.
I
I
hope
think-
I'm wrong,
I think
but
you're
you
wrong,
know that
like,
really dark place that you know. It's
You
probably,
don't do such a dark reveal of a character to have him control somebody through an iPhone app.
It's genius though.
like,
no,
it's
no,
what's
it's not.
I
popular.
completely understand how you piece that together. I just really don't think. I
I
pray that it's not that.
Yeah, the same showrunners run Arrow, and they will. I can't. I really hope.
All right. How about we go to the next segment? How about Agent Carter?
Agent Carter was surprisingly good this week.
Yes, I agree.
I enjoyed it.
Redemption there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nothing nothing to redeem it where I would watch more than 8 episodes of the season.
Right. I agree.
I thought it was passable. Honestly,
It was all cameos that saved it. It was the
that's
Howling
it, but-
Commandos,
Which I was upset how many of them we lost.
right? Dottie
Yeah.
just offed them.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean-
just didn't, and they were not shaken by it at all.
Well, that wasn't Dottie. In the prison camp?
Wasn't it?
No, that was
Oh.
just a
That was
girl.
just some
That was just some
random
random
girl.
girl.
Sorry,
that they're
the
still
contrast on my TV is off. It's all like
Yeah,
shadows. and
Because then
blonde
Agent
hair.
Carter would have been like, "What are you doing here, Dottie?" That was a
Yeah.
terrible British
That was-
accent. But anyway,
Is that British?
No, it was just a
That
little
was-
girl.
That
I
was,
don't even know
that
what
was
that
New
was.
Zealandish.
Yeah.
That's what
I
that was.
don't know. I think it was just Steve Trezor.
But no, it was just another. So, I'm sorry, but as soon that first flashback, all I could think of was a terrible, terrible movie.
well,
Salt.
Snow White. Oh.
when
Or she was like handcuffed.
Snow White was in the movie.
No, all I could think of was salt.
originally when they were saying, Dottie's in the Black Widow program, I was thinking a secret program within the United States, and I feel like almost all of us were thinking that too.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of revealed
Russian.
that it's the Russian Black Widow program,
Yeah.
That makes
which
sense.
makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Also because Black Widow
Is
used
Natasha
to be,
Romanoff.
and she used to be fighting for the Russian government.
And-
a double agent.
Yep. And they in Avengers they talk about how Hawkeye essentially
Turned her.
turned her
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
to
he
Shield.
did.
So yeah, he did. He gave her that deep arrow.
Boo.
So I thought that was good.
Referencing
Now she's kind of like a hidden spy bad guy now. So now we have that spy aspect in it, which is kind of drawing me back in a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it was a last ditch effort because this one episode was really good where you find out Thompson, he's not a huge hero. He wound up killing 6 Japanese soldiers in his camp who were surrendering. And it's a lot of I feel like they knew that they were losing people at that point when they decided to the episode order where they would put the Howling Commandos and the Black Widow and everything that would bring somebody to watch Agent Carter. They brought it in one episode. I guarantee you next week's episode is a letdown.
I don't know. I don't know.
It seemed
the
pretty
preview looks pretty
action packed.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest. I'm already let down by the preview because of the fact of the matter is this episode really showed it built Agent Carter's trust with everybody. All right.
Yeah.
It showed that the Howling Commandos trust her indefinitely. way more than the SSR does. It showed you that she's a badass fighter. It showed you that the leader of the SSR and Thompson, put faith in her because she was able to produce. And the preview for next week already is taking that away from you.
Yeah, it's showing that everyone's now going against her.
And I understand that they're doing that because of a limited amount of episodes.
Yeah,
but I feel like we have this long build up to her getting this trust, and then we're just taking it right away.
I'm tired of her being just disrespected almost.
Yeah,
I guess
I don't know.
It's really
I
said, since episode 2 and 3 came, it's I hope the whole series isn't like this. Literally every single goddamn scene is always goddamn
they're like, we can't take her. She's gonna have her period mid mission that.
I'm
kind of.
I was like, I get it. We're in that time period, but I mean, goddamn it,
she proved herself
so many times.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense that they're just so against her.
But
still.
But I mean, I did absolutely like how it showed that the Howling Commandos trusted her more than anything. They give them this look. They give her this look of what's this idiot talking about? You tell us what to do, Peggy.
Yeah.
And
well, they know.
Then they know her. Right. So.
And there's hey, why don't you come with us? She's like, no, that's not what.
I would want to see that show.
Yeah.
Make Peggy go with the Howling Commandos.
I mean, it sounds much more made sense.
It
It would have made much more sense in the Marvel Universe. She just stayed with them. And
no, we're going to have to go watch her on a bad Bioshock, fucking soundstage, and watch her act in a diner where she talks over fucking breakfast with
and deals
Dottie.
with sexism, everybody.
Yeah,
just like every day.
It's so stale already.
Yeah.
It's only episode 5.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Again, this past week's episode was better.
Right.
I have hope for it to come back.
Better.
If it does go right back into the shitter again next week, then it's sad.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't.
There's better stuff.
The preview looks good.
There's better stuff on the horizon.
I mean, the cool ending before the preview was how Dottie did handcuff herself to the bed to kind of show that she is programmed.
Yeah.
And in her programming is you got to be handcuffed to the bed so that you don't run away at night. That kind of thing.
They're kind of confused as to where they want to go because it's we're gonna make Leviathan the threat, but then we're bringing in the Black Widow program. Are they the same thing?
Why did Dottie kill the guy who came to kill Peggy? To kill Howard Stark.
There can't be two evil organizations fighting against the same goal in an 8-episode season. It is too much, and you already muddled Leviathan.
Right.
You built it up in this 2-hour premiere with the creepy dudes with the neck things and the fucking long distance typewriter, and then nothing.
Yeah.
And then there was a filler episode, and then there was this one.
And then another. Well, there were
There's 2 filler episodes, and then there was this one that introduced the Black Widow program, which seems to be another.
Yeah.
A whole other storyline.
Storyline. When they have 3 episodes to resolve all this, and it makes absolutely no sense.
I agree.
All right. Well,
Hashtag we should run Agent Carter.
Also, other things that's shitty. Let's talk about Arrow, everybody.
Oh, come on. It wasn't bad. Okay. Listen. Okay, first of all, it had a moment in TV that is very rare, and I know you're going to disagree, and I know you're going to disagree.
Yes.
But I call it catching the Holy Spirit moment. When Ollie came back, you start clutching your chest like an old black woman in church, and you start rocking back and forth. I felt real good when Ollie came back finally.
I knew it was happening.
Because, they kind of it's oh, is Ollie back? And then it was Merlin. You're like, oh, that might have been Merlin in the preview, and then Ollie did come back.
I agree with you there. You had that moment where you're you weren't sure if it was Ollie or Merlin.
And it was
Merlin did trick me, but that did.
More Merlin is always good because he's such a solid character.
He's a solid character. He's a very good actor. And he's a very good bad guy.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's it was just kind of okay, Oliver can barely walk. And he's back in the city, and he's just hey,
literally standing.
Don't do that. See you later. That was it. That's all that happened.
But that's all you needed.
Yeah, that goes.
They're using the concept.
It totally proved my theory wrong, where he was going to go crazy and start killing people when he did the complete opposite.
So
sorry, people who thought that was coming.
Hold on. It was very Batman Begins-esque of showing the whole, you are a symbol. Make yourself more than a man. Make yourself a symbol. And that's essentially what he was in that episode.
I agree with it, but they did it completely wrong. The whole ending was terribly anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But think about it this way.
What did you think it was gonna happen?
Okay, Arrow
Better. There's a couple things they should have done, and I will explain to you exactly what they should have done, and it would have made the episode awesome. First off, he shouldn't have even been in it.
Yeah.
But let's get back to that. I will get back to that. If they're going to bring him back, don't show me that he's getting on the bus to come back. Don't even show me anything with him until the end of the episode. Put him only in at the end of the episode, so that then it's surprising. Because it's like, we haven't seen him all episode. Yeah. Oh, here he is. Yeah. Instead, you're seeing that he comes back. You know he's going to come back, and then it's not surprising.
Well, it should have been the preview last week, so we all knew it was coming.
What they should have done... Sorry, Devin.
We all have words.
What they should have done would have been not have him in the episode at all, bring him back in the next episode, and instead, all of a sudden, we need help. We can't do this on our own. We don't want to trust Merlin. Okay, enter the Atom. Boom. Now the Atom's in, brand new superhero.
Okay. I agree with you there.
He's kicking ass, and then... And that's how you bring him into the series.
I don't know how they're going to bring him in.
I don't know either. But that would have been the perfect spot to bring him in.
I agree with you there.
Didn't do it.
I agree with you there. Okay.
But
I'm okay.
But think about it this way. Merlin, sorry, I'm on the same point and I'm going to lose it if we stop talking.
I have my points saved forever.
Arrow humanizes Merlin when Merlin dehumanizes Arrow. That's why Arrow is seeking training from him. And
but then
Merlin,
you're gonna go and get training from the guy who had your love interest killed by your sister?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
But he's the only person who's received training from Roz.
Yeah.
Maseo!
But he's being a bitch!
Yeah, Maseo's being a total bitch.
I don't know. You're yelling at me like I wrote the goddamn script. We just watch it and talk about it.
Like
saying, like it was.
Tatsu wouldn't even
I just
train him.
didn't think it was.
Yeah, while he was healing.
Okay.
If ever.
Tatsu is the creepy Asian chick from the Wolverine movie.
Yes.
I did not know that. I noticed that this week, and I was like, wait a minute. And
I've noticed that since like season 1 of this, or episode 1 of this.
TV's fucked up. My contrast is down. I can't see shit. It's all shadows and sound.
Turn up your contrast.
Okay, but then anything loud happens and my TV shuts off.
Devin, I want to hear your point now.
Yes.
Donate money to my TV fund.
Alright.
Click
At the
here
very end, once he gets to everybody, he's like, sorry, where'd you, everybody? I couldn't make a phone call. Like, bullshit! You could have done so much along the way.
Send a letter.
Hey, guys, I'm coming here. I'm on the bus. I use someone else's phone.
Nobody does the
I'm
phone
I'm buying a payphone. I'm buying a payphone. Shut up. This is my argument here. I'm buying a payphone. I got some quarters. Hey guys, I'm alive. Hey guys, I read you a letter saying I'm alive. And I could have sent it to you. Hey guys, I'm here. Instagram right here. Arrow back. Hashtag really me.
Oh wait, he's
But
back.
no, I just show up just to be all awesome, just so I feel good. I am the Arrow,
He doesn't
everybody.
feel good. He's
Look at
stabbed in the
me.
side.
No, yeah, he was groggy.
I don't know. It was the
but
first,
he was such a dick to his friends.
the
Okay,
first half of the episode.
we should probably talk about like the other part of the episode, which is Brick and his. I don't get how the police just conceded the Glades.
Yeah.
Probably the police in general of what they were doing.
Like this whole Brick storyline, while it is cool, it makes no sense. Like he's just like
The Starling
He's like-
City Police Department is the worst police department
like,
in the history of
Oi!
countries.
I got these 3 people here, so you better stay out of the Glades. And they're like, shit.
All
Alright. And then they just fucking leave. It makes no sense. He has 3 people. And then the cops are like, huh?
Yeah, they don't
Sure.
call in the National Guard or anything.
Yeah.
They're just like,
And
just leave them alone. They'll die out eventually.
Instead they do this like Dark Knight-esque like denizen versus denizen fight where like Sin is like, I'm gonna call all my seedy friends and we're gonna fight all of Brick's seedy henchmen, and none of them have guns except
all
Brick.
the henchmen have all the henchmen had guns.
Did they?
None of them used them.
No.
They ran full speed into the guns and started fighting. They could have just been like, okay, fight over. And the only person on the other side who had a gun, and it was a fucking huge gun,
Big gun, right?
was Diggle. And again, doesn't use it. Just
18's the
throws
shit out of it.
Like,
Nobody hits anything. And then Wildcat comes back and he's like, Brick again. He's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Wildcat. And he just gets the shit kicked out of him. Like, why bring Wildcat in if he's just gonna be pummeled to death?
Yeah.
Did he die?
We don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. Laura was like, "You'll be okay," and he's like, "You're a bad liar."
You're a bad... And then the costume looked so dumb. Oh, it was awful.
It was
And just the two cops even out there while Arrow's giving a speech are just standing there like, we've caught the bad guy.
No, but the best part is Arrow's like, he's standing on top of the cop car. He's like, "Hey, good job, guys. You did not fail this city.
You didn't fail.
And he's like the camera there.
He's like
and
kept talking the crowd.
And then he's just like, "Ow." And then he flies.
No, because
Alright, I switched from Team Ed to Team everybody else. That episode is bad.
Good! I'm glad you agree!
I am still happy with the episode.
This was
sorry.
of the three. Flash, Agent Carter, and Arrow. I think Arrow is easily the worst.
It should have been so much stronger because
And
Ollie
it's,
came
it's
back.
normally the best, and it's still my favorite.
Dude,
but it's
I
just-
still
They
can't.
just dropped the ball on it, I feel like.
They made Brick look like a total bitch.
Like,
he was
everybody
built
looked
up
like
to,
a bitch.
He was built up to be this big
I'm
fucking
sorry, bro.
bad guy, and then he just gets bitched out in the last
Dude, no. I'm sorry. And Malcolm Merlin makes anybody look like a bitch.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
That
That's
was a
true.
cool scene where he was like, "You killed my Rebecca," and he's like, "Oh, I killed everybody with this piece." And he was like, "You don't even remember her name." He's like, "She was begging," and like, I would have fucking killed her.
Oh, I would've fucking ended his
I would have
life right
shoved
there.
that gun up his ass and then
What was
shot
so funny? He's
through
like,
his
he
mouth.
pointed the gun at him, picked him up, hit him with the gun, and then pointed at him again.
And okay, Malcolm Merlin is a little bit of he overacted that because when he pointed the gun back at him, he was like, and then Arrow's like, "Don't do it." And he's like, and then he did it again. I was like, "Oh shit!" That's he overacted so much that I'm knocking
So,
shit over.
I don't understand why he was using a gun, because it wasn't like it was Brick's gun either.
No, it
And
was
then-
his gun.
Was it
He
Brick's-
took
Oh,
Brick's
okay.
gun.
I
It would have
did-
been less. It would have been less like impactful if it was an arrow.
I'm sitting-
If he would just unsheath it and then draw it, and then Arrow's like, "Don't do it," so he undraws it and then he draws it again. It would have been way more ridiculous.
I did the one thing I did like about the episode, and the first half of the episode I thought was okay. The second half was just ridiculous.
I liked the Merlin backstory. It was good.
I really like
more Merlin.
backstory.
I liked the end with the coin and
Yeah.
the magician,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's what I was
that makes a
Merlin.
lot of sense.
but and in the
Dumb.
comics, his name, his villain name is the magician.
Yeah,
Right.
in the first season it was Black Arrow. Right?
They called him the magician, I believe,
No, they
in
called him
one or
Dark Archer.
two episodes
Dark Archer,
in the first season, I
Yeah,
believe.
it kind of went.
They
The
call-
Arrow's first season.
Two
was always,
things.
the
Two
first
more
one.
points I have to make. One just came to me. In the first season, didn't he say he heard his wife die over the phone? Or am I imagining
I don't
this?
remember that.
I know there was some
Call
wife
back,
death
yeah.
backstory, but
Because they didn't touch upon that at all. They just had the people show up at the house.
and you would know it was Brick too, because he's got that Cockney like
But
fucking.
my
English.
other point is, do you think we'll now see flashbacks of Malcolm Merlin in the
League?
In the league?
I don't
Absolutely.
see why not.
Absolutely. They've established that,
Bring
especially
more
with
Malcolm
young
backstory.
Nisa.
Yeah.
We're gonna see those. It's gonna be a rotation between, Ollie in Hong Kong.
Just kidding. Flies away.
What?
He flies away.
Oh yeah. Where does he go? It's not like there's tall buildings in the
you
glades.
Hold on, you
He's gonna
realize-
be able
You
to
just went
climb and
straight.
it's all hurt.
He
It's
didn't
all
even
like
go over there.
it's all like 2 or 3 story buildings, and he's just like,
Hold on. You
and he
realize
just
that
hits a building and he like climbs up.
Trez, show that clip again of him flying away.
Here's
Here
where we
it
end the
is.
clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
look,
there it is.
look
There
at
it goes.
look at how ridiculous it is.
Alright,
It's
so you
terrible.
guys realize though, every time Ollie flies away by shooting an arrow at somewhere, it's the Spider-Man concept.
Yes.
Boom,
But
spot.
still.
But
it's-
wait,
That's
okay,
Spider-Man!
if you
Let's
think-
see.
okay,
Look, there's no building. Let me shoot a web on
Alright.
Okay,
it.
let's think. Let's 1 second.
All right,
one
we're
physics,
done, we're done.
physics, real quick. I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you. If he shoots the arrow, right, and the arrow hits the thing, where is it tethered to him?
It's tethered
Like,
to the bow.
Is it?
Yeah.
But then, wouldn't that affect
The
the flight of
torque
the
would
arrow?
like break his wrist.
No. It wouldn't affect the flight of the arrow.
Alright, let's not get
Alright.
into the physics of Arrow here.
It just doesn't make sense. Much like the whole episode.
It's funny how we're
Alright,
flying
but
flat.
so-
They
anyway.
built Brick up so much and they fucked it up. Oh man.
He'll be back.
No, he's not. He was in 3 episodes. He got cast 3 episodes. He's done. He's gonna be in wherever the fuck prison they go to.
Iron Heights.
Alright, I think that's all we got for the
Yeah, I
reviews.
think that might be it.
That was more of just a
Today.
rant.
That was a rant, but it was a well-deserved
That was a
rant.
rant. Aye! Join us for Cool Nerd News, it's coming up next. Oi! I'm doing Brick. You get it? Is that? Was that
Yeah,
good?
that was
good.
good.
I'll give it a little clap. I'll give it a little
That was
clap.
good. Alright.
Kato would be proud.
Thank you. I smell an Oscar in my future. Not an Academy Award. My superpower. I can just smell people's names.
See
Signing
you next
off.
time, folks.
That'd be a real bad
I'm
superpower.
Steve Trezza.
Scott Burnett!
Ed Good.
I'm Devin Burke.
Can't be.